ADHDers, does our ability to speak truth to power come from our right hemisphere? I'm Steve Gunson, the author of Dragonborn, the Mythology of ADHD. In previous videos, we've been showing how our ADHD is born from our right hemisphere, the hemisphere of chaos. In the book of Dr. Ian McGilchrist, a prominent neuroscientist, the master and his emissary, he describes that the fundamental difference between the brain's two hemispheres is the type of attention they give the world. We've talked about the left hemisphere yielding its attention to what is known and what is explored, order. And we've talked about the right hemisphere yielding its attention to what is unknown or unexplored or novel, chaos. So the right hemisphere is the hemisphere of chaos. In previous videos, I have shown that us ADHDers, we are not disordered, but rather we are just oriented towards chaos in opposition with the majority. Well, if that's true, we would expect our ADHD traits of chaos to line up with the right hemisphere's traits of chaos. And so in this video, I want to talk about our trait of speaking truth to power. ADHDers, isn't it true that we find hierarchies, cliques, and all kinds of social groups, informal and formal, suspicious? Isn't it true that we always try to leave the door open for everyone? And then when encountered with hierarchies, we will speak truth to them. Because hierarchies, while useful, are always flawed in some manner. And it takes a chaotic voice like ours to sometimes speak the truth to them. Well, is the penchant of humans to speak truth to power born in the right hemisphere? Dr. Ian McGilchrist says yes. The left hemisphere favors individual self-belief and the need to be right. However, the right hemisphere is more readily convinced of arguments for positions we have not previously supported. The right hemisphere also allows us to support multiple conclusions without settling on one possible outcome. In short, Dr. Ian McGilchrist says that the right hemisphere is what plays devil's advocate. In other words, the right hemisphere indeed is where we get our trait for speaking truth to power. Is that a surprise for the hemisphere of chaos? And is that any surprise for us ADHDers who are oriented towards chaos and the right hemisphere? All right, buy my book on Amazon. The link is in the notes, and follow me on social media.